Good morning, everybody. We're so happy to have Scott Berry here with us today. He is the founder and the head trainer of Fit to Say I Do. Great name, by the way.
Yeah.
He can help you get ready to look and feel your best for your big day by taking all the guesswork out of how do you work out? What do you eat? How are you going to be overly healthy? His goal isn't just to get you ready for your big day, but to have you feeling and looking your best for your happily ever after either good habits. Good habits are great habits, and you're going to be so happy you're going to keep doing it. With a proven scientific approach, Fit to Say I Do creates custom programs based on each client's goals, and he works in conjunctions with your other professionals in fitness and wellness space. You're going to get the results like you have never dreamed of. And I think an interesting byproduct, and Scott, I think you heard this, we were together at an industry event, is sometimes your entire family is going to get fit for your wedding too, which is just fantastic. So, Scott, tell us all about what you do.
Yeah, no, good morning. Thank you for having me first and foremost on your podcast. It's a huge honor.
Oh,
It
thanks
was
for
also
joining us. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was nice
Yeah.
seeing you at that event on Monday, so that was fantastic as well. So it was nice to put a face to to a
Hmm.
voiceover. But yeah, so basically what I do is I create fitness programs for, brides, grooms, bridal parties, grooms parties, even the family, to get everybody looking and feeling their best for their wedding. That's something I know that has been, since the dawn of time. Everybody wants to look great for their wedding, especially the brides. I think we can all agree on that. Grooms as well, and families, which people kind of tend to forget are still part of the wedding.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
I want to include a little bit of everybody just to make sure everybody looks and feels their best. And like you said in the intro, a lot of times people do these fad crash diets, or, they lose a lot of weight really quick and they're miserable. They don't feel good. They get through their wedding day and then they just gain all this weight back, and it's not done in a healthy way. So, my theory behind doing everything is to get you looking and feeling your best for your wedding and for every day after that, because your wedding is one day, but you still have the rest of your life to live, and you want to do it healthy.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I'm particularly interested in your services. I think it's a great service. I think a
I
lot
think
of
it's wonderful.
brides and grooms and families are going to use it. But my son is getting married in March of 2026. So it does seem like I have a long time, but I think of, at my age, I've gained weight. I would love to lose 25 pounds and feel good because I think about buying a dress and the photos, these are going to be their photo albums, I'm going to be in them, uh, and I really want to. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to speak to Scott and see what he does.
Yeah, so I make it pretty easy right now. My company's roughly 2 to 3 months old at this point.
Uh-huh.
And so really what I do right now is I'm online based. So you can work out really from wherever. I'm just here to help guide you along the way. What makes me different from really everybody else, like, in this industry is I'm willing to work with you, with your doctors, and work as a team, because a lot of people try to do everything by themselves and wear so many different hats. But if you think of it almost like a wedding too, where you're talking with all these different vendors and stuff, they're not going to be a one-stop shop for everything. So you're going to have to work in conjunction. So even, an entertainment company is going to have somebody that does pictures, somebody that does video, somebody that does DJ. Yes, they might offer it, but they're going to have to work as a team to get that done. And so I'm the same way. So, I'm working with people in wellness centers to, get the recovery aspect, because you want to recover after you work out. I've partnered with nutritionists to make sure that, hey, if there's something out of my scope that I can't do, I can work with them if it's something that I need to refer out. So I'm not afraid to say that, I have a team-based approach to getting work done. And also the way that I do it, the way that I program is based on what the client wants. There's so many different times where clients will say, I want this, and it gets undelivered. And, that could be in other services too. And that's not to knock or to talk down on anybody, but I listen to what my clients want to get as a result. And so, hey, let's focus on this. And through, time, obviously, the more time you give me, the better, we can get your
Yeah.
results. Um, that's really what it comes down to, is how much time are you giving me, and what's your commitment level to to working. We'll give you a plan based on what you can do, what you can't do, based on your exercise level. So we can either regress or progress your workouts. Obviously, we want to progress your workouts over time. And then, that's how you get results, is just doing it over and over and over again over
Over
an
and over
extended
again.
period of time. And then we have those good life habits that build. So, after your wedding day, I can let you go and say, these are the good habits that you guys should be, doing for the rest of your life, and you guys should be good.
Yeah, it sounds I love the idea that like you're doing this virtually so people can, do this at home and
Oh, yeah.
not necessarily have to like, get up an hour early to get to the gym and go someplace before work and or after work and you just it's right there for you. I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do this?
Um,
Why are you doing this?
yeah. So just to clarify, so the online aspect right now is just online for now. I'm probably
Mm,
going to do something in person at some
okay.
point once I, get my bearings down and everything like that. But my programs and everything are also based on, uh, you know, where you want to work out too. So if you do want to do at home workouts, we got you. If you go to a gym, we set the plan for you. So you go to the gym, get your workout in, and go home. Typically, the workout's going to be somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour, just because of life, between planning for a wedding, working a job, other stresses that come in the way, everything like that. That's why we try to get you in, get you out, and, really get you on with your life. And to answer your other question, I actually went and got my master's in exercise science a couple of years ago during COVID.
Wow. Great.
I had just gone through an injury, myself. And so I was trying to figure out, okay, well, what can I do so, this doesn't happen again in the future. Like I've always been active, I've always played sports, and I was just curious, and, curiosity and nothing to do during COVID just kind of let me to do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
well, that's
so,
great and inspirational. I went the other way with COVID. I gained weight. People were learning languages, getting fit, and doing this. I was eating and watching TV.
but that's all right. But yeah, so
No.
so I went and I got that, and then I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. So I just kind of sat on it for a little bit, and I just kind of sat on it, and I don't know how my wife and I got to talking about it, but we were talking about the bridal space and, about our wedding. I think we were reminiscing because we had like a friend's wedding or something like that. And I was looking online, and I'm just like, I remember doing the bridal expos with my wife and just looking to see the vendors that are out there and whatnot. And I'm like, there's nobody in here in a fitness space. I never see
Wow.
really anybody, saying like, "Hey, I'm a trainer. I'm coming to an expo." Maybe I saw a couple companies like, like the Cycle Bar or, Bar Theory or something like that. Like some of the bigger corporations that come that say, "Hey, come for however many times a week." And I'm like, I don't know anybody in this space right now. And so I'm like, it'd be kind of cool if I could just, jump into this, because I know the demand is so high um,
Absolutely.
for fitness, just for wedding and just in general, just because that's the trend that's moving forward, is just health and wellness. And I genuinely love helping people. I do it for my primary job, and I'm like, I can help other people outside of, my main career, and just how else can I do it outside of that? And, just fitness and wellness has been something that's been so, centered in my life. I'm like, this is something I think would be great, especially, in a wedding space when people are going through the happiest time of their lives, or, it should be one of the happiest times of their lives. And, let's get them looking and feeling as, as good as possible. And then, I have to credit my wife with coming up with the name. She's the one that did, not me. And
Oh, I think it's brilliant.
I keep saying
For
that everywhere I
sure.
go. So, I do give credit to where credit's due. So I can't say that I came up with the name. So my wife did. So I have to give her that. And I think it just kind of fits perfectly. And, like I said, we're a service for, specifically New Jersey brides, grooms, and their families and their bridal parties, just to get everybody looking and feeling their best.
I love
You know,
the idea of a couple together focused training. That what a great way to start your life together, a nice, healthy way, something you can share together is this working out together a couple of times a week or however often you set them up for. And what a beautiful healthy, fun, shared experience to take with you into your married life. You get a lot of people doing it together as a couple.
So right now we're just doing I'm seeing a lot more like just single people getting it. So like I'm 2 months into this right now, so not where I want to be with it yet, but I know that eventually it will come where we can get, brides and grooms on it and then bridal parties on it and whatnot. So right now just more so just doing individual training right now. And it's been getting some great results for the clients that I do currently have.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I
sounds
see
great.
on your Facebook and Instagram that you do have some recipes, videos of making some recipes and all. So you include not just the workout, but do you help guide them with nutrition and you work with nutritionalists?
Yeah, so the nutrition's actually going to be an add-on just because of
Okay.
the work. Like I want to make it feel like it's almost like an a la carte kind of like, a high-end service. That's how I picture it to be with my clients and whatnot, where, hey, let's talk about, working out and, eating right, but we're going to also address like the lowest hanging fruit because I could tell you, we can make all these changes right away, but you're going to gain the weight right back, or
Yeah.
you're just going to fall off really quick because it's just a sudden change. So we initially make little changes here and there with nutrition,
Mhm.
and then if I need to refer out, we can always contact the nutritionist I'm working with, where it's like, okay, clients saying they have this going on, what can we do about this? Because there's some things that just being quote unquote nutritionist, that I can't do that a dietitian can. So that's why I work as a team and I bring them on and have them working in conjunction with me. So that way, if I need some help with, anything, it's like, hey, they're part of the team. They're here to get you, in the best shape of your life
Mm,
too. They're just
yeah.
working, behind the scenes kind of.
Hmm. I think the stress relief part of this picture is good to mention too, because, you know, everybody knows that if you exercise, endorphins are released and you feel calmer when you're done. And I think there's probably, yeah, there's a lot of people who are stressed out by a lot of things, but wedding planning, we hear from all of our, it's like, there's a question on my questionnaire. It's like, what has you stressed out? Wedding planning is almost always the answer. And, just to like stop doing it for an hour and focus on this, I think that's just, I think that's a really good benefit all by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too that I like to point out is with this, I feel it's an investment, it's not an expense, because this is something
Yeah.
that you're going to get back directly. It's you get one body in one life. So, you want to make the best of it. So you're really investing in yourself, because a lot of people will do everything for their wedding, but they'll forget about themselves. So they'll think, oh, so and so is going to love this. I'm doing this for this relative. I'm just thinking outside the box from when I was wedding planning myself, because I've been in that boat as well. And you kind of tend to lose track of yourself because you're trying to make a lot of other people happy in the process.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, I forgot about me.
Well put.
And so, we don't want to lose track of that, because it's your day. It's at the end of the day, you have to be happy with how everything turned out, with the wedding, everything, that went into the planning. It's stressful, but it comes so quick once the wedding day hits. And I'm sure you guys know that as well, obviously. It's you plan so hard for so long, and then the day comes and it's like, oh my God, that was so quick. It's done.
Mm. Well, I think it really is in a way it's a gift to your partner that, you're making this promise that you're going to love and support and build this thing together. And, there's no better foundation for that than being fit and having good habits. And I think it's a great concept. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah,
Cool.
so do I.
So,
I think it's just going to be such a success for you. It's already started off as a success
yeah,
and it's just going to grow. I love this idea and
I do
I
too.
don't know anybody else doing it.
No, I don't either. Now, let's say you have gotten engaged and you are thinking, wow, I need to do something here. When should people start thinking about, aside from as soon as possible, like now, do your programs typically have a time frame involved in, in goal setting?
Yeah, so I have 4 programs set up right now. One is like a 1-month program where if you just want to test it out, it's there. If you like it, great. If not,
Well,
you
that's a
know,
good idea.
you got to you just to try it out. I have a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 9-month. Obviously, I would always stress that, the 9-month plus is always better just because you have more time to play with. If something happens, God forbid, at least we can, make changes or you have some time to work with. But
Mhm.
some people get engaged and then it's like, oh, I want to elope and just get this done right away. Everybody's really different. Some people have a long engagement. Some people have a shorter engagement, and it really depends on the person, but obviously the longer time that you guys have to play around with, the more, we can kind of tailor the results to that. We can also do it for, a shorter period of time, but obviously, I'm trying to do this in the healthiest and the safest way. So, it's not going to be as good as like a 9-month transformation, but we do give you the tools and everything you need to, to succeed either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think
This is great. And Scott, thank you so much for being with us today. Listeners, as he was saying before too, it's an investment in yourself. And your wedding day is one of the most important moments in your life. Feeling confident and energized is really it's the gift that you can give yourself and your
Mhm.
partner.
And your partner.
So, if you'd like to learn more about Scott's programs or connect with him directly, be sure to check out Fit to Say I Do. We will have links to Fit to Say I Do's Instagram, Facebook page, and your new website, which is beautiful. It has all the information you need and how to contact him. And thank you so much, Scott, for joining us today.
Yeah, no, it's been a real pleasure, and I love forward to, or excuse me, it was a great chat, and I loved having you guys have me on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
All
was
right.
very fun. I think it's very different from a lot of the people that we've had on, but I think it's just such a good foundation for, people that start programs that they can stick with, and they're going to look better, they're going to feel better, and it's really, I think as I said, I think it's a really great little stress free. It frees you up with some of the stress of planning that wedding, and that should be built into your schedule. I think it's a perfect idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I. All right. Thanks again.
Cool.
All right, thank you again so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
Scott.
Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.